guys. So just decided to do a couple of little yoga sessions just to keep you going through the next few weeks to complement your training you've already been doing online with Tim and Ollie. So we'll get started with a little bit of a warm-up, starting with a little bit of a mobility warm-up. So let's start by inhaling, reaching the arms up, and then exhaling, taking the arms down by our side. And again, inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, take the arms down. And again, inhale, reaching the arms all the way up. And this time we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. So taking up one arm at a time and bringing in the legs with it. So as you extend up towards the ceiling, deep inhales and exhalations through your nose, nice and tightly. All right, think about, that's it, working across the body. And then come up and take it over towards your right. Reach the right arm up, bring yourself back to the centre, over towards the left. Bringing the left arm up, back to the centre, over towards the right. Bringing that right arm up to join it, over towards the left. So we've done this one before. So imagine you've got a little beach ball, bringing the arm back to the centre. And then as you're coming over towards the right, bring that right hand up and bring it back up again. Over towards the left. And then back to the centre, over towards the right. Okay, and then this time as you come up, let's take the arms back and let's do some arm circles backwards. So let's go for 8 circles backwards. That's 4, so 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and then start to bring those arms forward. So think about bringing the arms slightly wider of the shoulders. Okay, and that way if you just feel any crunching of the joints, you just help to give it a little bit more space, a little bit more mobility through those joints there. All right, now this time as we bring the arms up, one arm forward and one arm back. Okay, so we'll go for 8 on each side. And if you're struggling with this one, go for a front crawl stroke for 8 and a back crawl stroke for 8. And then we'll reverse it. So 8, 7, good, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, now this time as we bring the arms up, take the arms out to the side. Just start to work through the wrists. So circling the wrists out. And then we'll reverse that and start to bring those circles in. Okay. All right, then we'll go into our Bollywood move. So I want you to push the hands away. Push away the heel of the hand. Bring the belly button in, start to roll the shoulders away from the ears. Bend the elbows a little bit, and then as you extend the hands away, I want you to turn one thumb up and one thumb down. And then we're going to reverse it, okay? So switching sides, trying to get a little bit of movement. Think about lengthening the arm away from the shoulder. Okay, a little bit of softness through the shoulder joint. And then from there, we're going to bring both thumbs up. Bend at the elbows and extend through the shoulders a little bit more, drawing them just a little bit further back from the shoulder joint. And then good, and then from there we're going to interlock the hands behind us. So turn around for this one. Lengthen the arms away from you. Inhale, lengthen up. And then from here, try not to stick the chest out. Tuck the tailbone under, lift up through the front of the body. And then from here we're going to drop, bend through the knees. And we're going to start to hinge at the hips and fold forward, taking the forehead towards your shins. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. And then on an exhale, sweep the hands along by the outside of your feet. Inhale all the way up towards the ceiling. Then exhale, take the hands back. This time we're going to change the interlock. So if you had your right finger over, this time left finger over. And then from there, take the hands away. Once again, softness through the elbow as you do this. Inhale, lengthen up. Tuck the tailbone under. And once again, feet hip distance apart. Remember, hinge at the hips. Lifting all the way up and then exhaling as you fold forward, forehead towards your knees. Inhale here. So push the feet into the floor here, and as you exhale and sweep with a squat, bending the legs. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up. And then we'll go for another set. So this lengthen back, inhale up, tuck the table, your pelvis under, and then as you do, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, folding forwards. Inhale here, exhale, inhale as we come all the way up, exhale, release, and the same on the opposite side, so left finger over right, inhale here, exhale, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, folding forward, so all the time navel towards the spine, and then inhale as you start to bring the arms all the way up, exhale, release, okay? All right guys, well done. So let's take it towards the hips. We'll just release the legs a little bit here, okay? So just some nice hip circles. I'll come round to the side. And then we'll start to bring those legs in. So one at a time, just circling through the legs, all right? Okay, and then from here, we'll take it into the waist. So standing with your feet hip distance apart, take your hands down towards your waist, and we're going to think of you having a box around you. So as you bring the hips out towards the side, we're thinking about touching each side of the box. So as you come forwards and as you go back, think about these hip bones touching each side of that box. So try and keep the upper body as stable as possible. Navel towards your spine. Okay, and as you come round, try and be really controlled with your balance. So think about where your balance is being placed as you move through your feet. Okay, now take it the opposite way. Once again, same thing applies. Think about lifting the waist away from the hips. Try not to take the shoulders with you, so keep the shoulders back and down and away from the ears. Okay, and then we'll progress this one. So this time, go back to what you did before, but come up onto the toes, rocking back onto the heels. Those. Well done. And then, yeah, 6 and 7, and really try and make your movements all the way around your feet. So roll from forefoot to heel, and then we'll take it in the opposite direction. So once again, rolling all the way round. Okay. And back. And last one. Okay, well done guys. Okay, shake it all out. And let's take it into some little squats. So I'm going to go side on for this so you can see what I'm doing. So take the feet just a little bit wider than your hips, okay? We're going to squat, take the toes so the toes point out. And think about your placement of your feet here. So try and spread your weight evenly from forefoot to heel. Try and watch these knees rolling in. So all the time we're trying to keep the knees tracking towards the fourth and little toe. And remember what we've spoken about in classes before. We talk about the big toe being your root into the ground, okay? So as we squat it down, we're just going to do some basic squats to begin with. So dropping it down, inhale, lifting it up. So exhale, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Now, if you want to take this one a little bit further, we're going to lift one heel at a time. You can come over to one side and then dropping it back to the other side. Lifting it up and over. So as you squat, once again, try and remember thinking about lifting the waist up away from the hips. Up and over. And back again. Good. And now on this one, we're going to lift both. So we're going to come up and then drop low. 2. Good. So as you squat down, I really want you to squeeze through the glutes as you come back up. Think about sitting on a chair, but try to lift the chest. So if you feel your chest is coming forward, you've probably gone too far. So try and draw so that the chest stays up. Inhale, let your gaze follow your hands. Okay, and just watch that knee placement, making sure the knees come out towards that fourth and little toe. Okay, good. Now on this next one, I want you to squat a bit lower. We're going to turn the feet out a little bit wider and go into a plie squat. So we're going to work a little bit more towards the inner thighs. And as we do that, I want you to pick up, raising one heel at a time. Okay? So keep the body nice and stable. Just try and move through the lower part of the body. See if you can squat the bottom back a little bit and keep that chest lifted as you're looking forward. Okay guys, so we'll try and do another 10. So 10, 9, aim for about 20 repetitions of these. 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And then we're going to lift both. So lifting up and down. 2. If you want to make this one a bit harder, then bring the hands in front of you. I'm just trying to activate a little bit more through the inner thigh for our adductor muscles and through, obviously through the quadriceps and through our calf muscles as well, okay? So keeping nice stable body position, keep lifting and lowering, and if you can aim for 2 sets of 10 or you can go for 20 all in one go, that's even better. All right, so just lifting up and lowering down. I'm going to say there's 5 there because I think I've lost count now. 4 and 3, good, 2 and 1, and now stay down. I want you to just pulse it, so keep pushing the bottom back, just lifting and lowering here. Once again, the whole time we're trying to keep this the chest up, okay? So as we get more fatigued, it's really tempting to fold forward, but as much as you can, try and keep that chest lifted. Just squeezing a little bit through the glutes, support your lower back, lifting and lowering all the way down. And last 10, 9, 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and shake it all off. Okay, hopefully they're not burning too much. All right, guys. Okay, so let's take a little stretch up. Let's just walk the legs in and out after doing that. And then from there, we'll take the hands down. We'll just give it a little clap in front and clap in behind. Okay, so just getting a little bit more movement through the shoulders, warming up a little bit through the upper body. And from here, we're going to go into some sun salutations, all right? So we'll do a couple of diagonal ones, and then come to the front of your mats. And we'll start working for a few more yoga poses. So, bring your feet together, okay? And from here, what I want you to do is really think about spreading your feet on the mat, ground down with your big toes. As you push into the floor, try and not sink into your joints. So we're thinking about drawing up through the front of the body. We're going to think about coming across the core here. So we're thinking about drawing across and lengthening up, creating space from the bottom of the waist and the top of the hips. We're thinking about tucking the tailbone under, and we're thinking also about bringing the chest in. So we don't want to flare the rib cage. Okay, now from here we're going to start by inhaling, reaching the arms up. So watch your lower back here, try not to overextend through your lower back. So tuck the tailbone under and lift up through the front of the chest. And then as you exhale, take the hands either side of you, swan dive the hands to the floor, and then the foreheads towards the knees. So if your hamstrings are tight, you need to soften the backs of the knees. We all do anyway. But soften them as much as you need to help you get the hands towards the floor. Okay, now pull the navel up, belly button up, inhale, lengthen, look up. And here, exhale, step that left foot back. Step your right foot back. And we're going to drop down here, knees, chest and chin. And then we're going to snake it forward into our baby cobra. So here, keep the hands either side of the shoulders, just underneath the shoulders. Heels come up towards your shins, toes on the floor, and just make sure that you try not to leave the knees down. So lift the knees up, and at the same time tuck the tailbone under so that the hip bones are onto the flat. Okay? Inhale, lift up here, lengthening through the front of the chest. And then as you exhale, take the hands towards the floor, lift up through the chest, push the bottom back towards the heels, and come into a mini down child's pose. Then we're going to bring the hands forward, so shoulders forward, come into your down, into your cat-cow, tuck the toes under, and then gently pushing it back into your down dog. So from here, soften the backs of the knees. The aim is more to get length in the spine than it is about getting the heels down to the floor. So if you've got really flexible hamstrings, then it's fine, that might be the case. But for you at the moment, just work on this length of the spine. So we're going to lift up through the chest. We're going to soften the elbows. Keep the hands a little bit wider of the mat, because that's going to make it a little bit easier to get the head and neck through the arms. And then from there, we're going to just start to work on pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. So imagine you've got a belt around your waist here, gently pushing your bottom diagonally up and back towards the ceiling. Try not to sink in through the shoulders here, so we're going to lift up through the shoulders and drop the head and neck in between the arms. Okay, and this is a really active posture, so as you deeply inhale, you're going to lengthen. Exhale, try and work a little bit deeper into your down dog. Keep these knees tracking over the fourth and little toe. Watch rolling in on these feet, so try and push towards the outside of the foot and evenly spread your weight from forefoot to heel. Your gaze, or in yoga your dristi, is between your knees or up towards the top of the thigh. So you're going to inhale and exhale here for 5 counts, okay? And then on the next inhale, we're going to lengthen forward. Exhale, we're going to step or jump the feet towards the hands. Inhale here, you can bring your hands onto your shin or hands to the floor if your hamstrings are longer. Softness at the back and of the knee as we lengthen up. Exhale, forehead to knee. And then inhale, push into the floor, lengthen, lifting the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And exhale down. Okay, so we're going to move through a couple more, a little bit quicker with some variations. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, swan dive the hands to the floor, forehead to the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step or jump the feet back into plank. Okay, now on this one, what we're going to do is do a little bit of rotational work through the trunk. So when you're in your plank, stack the shoulders right over the wrists, soft through the elbows. Try and lift up through the shoulders, and then we're going to rotate back towards the right, back to the centre, towards your left. Okay, so we're going to rotate on each side, and just try and get a little bit of movement, nice and strong through your core. A little bit of core work here. If you want to take it further, okay, then you can open out through one arm, back into your plank, open out through your left arm, back into your plank. So coming back over. So notice here my feet aren't stacked, so I'm supported by having one foot slightly in front of the other. Each time I'm trying to make sure that when I come back to the centre, I come back into that plank position, re-establish before I go back into the rotation. Okay, it's a little bit of upper body strength working as well as trunk rotation. So we'll do one more on each side. And then from there, come back to the centre, and we're going to drop down knees, chest and chin. Take it back into our baby cobra. So lifting up here through the front of the body. Bring the hands off if you want to. Go and lift the feet off. Remember, tuck the tailbone under. So rather than this position, we're tucking the body under so the hip bones are into the mat. And then from there, lifting all the way up. Pushing yourself back into your puppy dog before coming back into your down dog. Okay, so we're going to inhale and exhale here. And this time we're going to try and work through a few hip movements. So lift up through the right leg. Keep this left leg stable. Try not to let him roll in. And we're just going to circle through the right hip. Okay, so do 4 little circles out. And then 4 little circles in, all the time pushing yourself up and away from the floor. And then from there, I'm going to ask you to send that leg out and bring knee to forehead for 1 and 2. Pushing away, 3 and 4. So you exhale as that knee comes in. Inhale as you push away, 5. And 6, and on this next one I want you to step that right foot in front of the hand. I want you to drop that back knee And I want you to lift the arms all the way up. Okay. From here we're going to inhale up here and we're going to drop the right hand by the right leg, lifting up through the left arm. So try and draw the left shoulder away from the ear, and then from there just tilting slightly over towards the right hand side. Good, just hold it there. So 5 and 4. Keep working on this left hip, keep pushing gently as you lengthen up. 3. And keep drawing your shoulder away from the ears. And 2. And 1. Good, guys. And then from there, as you come forward, I'm going to bring the hands either side of you. I want you to tuck the toes of that left leg under. And then this time we're going to rotate towards this right knee. We're going to bring the knee in towards the chest towards the knee. Push into the floor and then lengthen that right arm up towards the ceiling. And if you want to, and you've got the flexibility in your shoulder, you can start to work on opening that shoulder a little bit further away from you. Just try and make sure that this hand is stacked so he's not too far back or too far over. Try and get him so he's right over that right shoulder. Good. Okay, now from there, we're going to inhale and we're going to switch the hands. We're going to bring the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Here, and then we're going to open out through the left arm, opening up towards the ceiling. So with this one, tuck the tailbone under, lift that arm all the way up. Inhale here, and exhale. And then from there, we're going to lift all the way back up into a warrior. Warrior 2. We're going to reverse the warrior, straightening the front leg. And we're going to lift up here, so try not to sink into the back, lift up. And then we're going to take a flow. So 1, lengthening back, and 2, and 3. Good, and I want you to follow your hand with your gaze. So 4, and 5. And on this next one, we're going to drop that right elbow onto the right knee. Lift up through the left arm and then take the left arm straight over. So here, try and make sure that this front heel is going towards the centre of that back foot. And we're pushing down with the outside of both of the feet. Lift up through this either way. And lengthen that arm up and over. And if you want to, you can bring that right hand all the way down towards the floor. If it can touch easily, open up through the left side of the chest. And then lengthen that left arm away from you. If you want to take it further, take the hand straight up, turn the palm away, and then bring the hand behind your back to take hold of your right thigh. Okay, you can bring yourself up here. So wherever you choose, just try and hold it for 5 breaths. On an inhale, we lengthen, exhale, release. All the time, try and think about pushing yourself up and away from the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Good. And then from there, we're going to inhale. We're going to come all the way back up. We're going to take a baby back bend again here. And then from there, we're going to bring our hands either side of the front leg, so I'm going to turn the other way now. Okay, so we're going to bring the hands either side of the right foot again now. We're going to step that right foot back to join that left foot. Alright, and then from there, we're going to drop down knees, chest and chin, or Chaturanga. So Chaturanga is where we bring ourselves down, keep the elbows in towards the floor. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, and then from there, we're going to roll it forward. Roll the shoulders away from the ears into our up dog. So here we're on the tops of the feet. We still need to tuck the hips under. And as we bring the chest forward, you can take the hands a little bit wider. Head looks forward, okay? You sometimes see people here with the head back, but that puts a lot of pressure through the back of the neck. So send to your up dog here. And then from there, you're going to roll over the toes, lifting up into down dog. Inhaling and exhaling here. And from here, once again, we've got to lift up through the back, lengthen through the back of the spine, Head and neck in between the arms. And then we're going to lift this time up through the left leg. And we're going to do 4 little rotations out. Okay. And then we're going to do 4 rotations in. And then from there we're going to send that foot away, sole of the foot points away, toes towards the floor. And then we're going to exhale as we bring that knee in, inhale as we send it away. So 2 and 3. So all the time you're pushing away from the floor, think about lifting your body up away from your hands. 5. Good. And on this next one, as you bring that knee forward, we're going to tuck it in really high and then step that left foot between the hands. Okay. We're going to drop the right knee down, and then we're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So once again, keep the hips pointing forwards. Imagine you've got 2 little flashlights on those hips. Inhale, lengthening up here. Drop the left arm by your side, lengthen up through the right arm, and then slowly tilt over towards the left-hand side. Inhaling and exhaling here. So on an inhale, you lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good. Okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then from there, I want you to bring your hands either side of that left foot. Inhale here. Bring your right foot up. And then just work them in a little bit. Bring your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Rotate towards the left arm and then lengthen the left arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, so last time you saw me facing the camera, this time facing away from you. Keep this left knee in towards you. Lengthen up with the left arm and really try and get that height through the shoulder as you lengthen the arm away. So holding these for 5 breaths. And then from here we're going to rotate and transfer the hand. So left hand on the inside, this time lengthening the right arm up and away from you. Inhaling and exhaling here as you go. So once again, keep that left knee coming in towards that right arm. Okay. If you need props for any of these and you don't have a yoga brick, just use a roll-up towel or a cushion, a couple of cushions that you could use. Even a game, a board game that's in a box, anything like that that's got a little bit of stability to it. Use that as a bit of a stable base. And then from here, we're going to inhale, we're going to sweep all the way up to stand, into our warrior 2. So arms come out from the side. We're going to take it into a little back bend here, or reverse warrior, And then from there, we're going to take it into our flow. So we're bringing it over for 5 of these. So coming into reverse warrior, and then forward into warrior 2. So lengthening, bending through the front leg as we come forward, and straightening that front leg as we arch back. Okay, so on your 5th one here, we're going to bring the hand to the floor, we're going to bring your hand to your hip knee, and we're going to reach that right arm up and all the way over, same as we did on the other side. Okay, those of you that are more flexible might find that you can get your left hand towards the floor. We're going to extend the right hand up towards the ceiling, inhaling and exhaling here. And then from there we're going to turn the hand round, we're going to sweep the hand behind us and take hold of that left leg. Okay, now you can choose, you can keep the left hand on the floor, but if you feel like you're crunching into that side of that waist, bring your left arm up onto your left knee. And just watch this left knee and also watch sinking into the joint. So move up and move away from it. Give yourself some space. Good. Inhale and exhale here. Alright. And then when you've done your 5 breaths, inhale here, come all the way up, nice and strong. Take one more reverse warrior. And then from there, Swan dive the hands either side of the left foot. We'll take the left foot back to join the right foot. Okay, and we'll just finish with a little bit of a core. Okay, so dropping down onto your elbows. Keep the shoulders stacked over the elbows. And ideally, if this one's too much, then you can rest the knee on the floor each time between each leg. Try and tuck the tailbone under and lift up through the scapula. Walk the feet in a little bit. Make sure they're hip distance apart. Guys, and then from there, just alternating little knee touches to the ground. So you can exhale, obviously, through the mouth if you do this. Try not to hold your breath, okay? Inhaling and exhaling here. And 2. And I want you to do 3 sets of 10, okay? If you want to be really fancy, you can start to take the knees across. Just doing a little bit more of rotational work through the obliques. Okay? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping it all the way down. Good. Inhale here. Take the hands out to the stride, drop the forehead to the mat. And then from there, we'll bring the arms up in front of us, tuck the tailbone under, and we'll just finish with a couple of little back stretches. So from here, back strengtheners. So take the tiptoes onto the mat, lift up through the knees and tuck the tailbone under. So remember, from this position, push the hip bones down. And then as you look towards the mat, remember this is about length rather than height. We're going to draw the arms back by our sides. So 1, 2. So inhale as the arms come forward. Exhale as the arms come back. 4. Good. And I want you to do 12 repetitions. Maybe you choose to do 2 sets if you've got a little bit more time. Alright. Try and bring in. And there we go. 3. Good. 2. And 1. Alright, and then this time take the arms wide, take the legs wide. Lifting opposite arm to opposite leg. Good. And all the time, remember, keep that tailbone tucked under. So if you feel any pain in the lower back, alright, so it might be because you're over accentuating through the lower back. So just tuck under again and lift. And remember, working on that length rather than that height. Good, guys, and give me 4 more here. So 4 and 3. 2 and 1. Good, and then from there, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the toes back in line with the hips. Inhale, lengthen, come up. Exhale, push the bottom back into your child pose. And here you can keep the toes together, keep the knees apart to stretch more into the hips. Keep your knees together if you want to stretch more into the lower back. Lift up through the stomach and then gently start to push the bottom back towards the heels. Release the shoulders. Taking the hands forward or maybe out to the side, back behind you. Good, and then inhale, gently come up. Bringing yourself back. Come into a gentle cat-cow just to finish here. So thinking about lifting up through the upper back. Inhale, dropping through the back as you come forward. Exhaling and inhaling. And down. Lifting. And as we've done before, some of you in my classes, lengthen one shoulder forward. Opposite shoulder. And down. One forward. And up. Opposite. And down. And again. Good. few circles, lifting. So do 4 in one direction, lifting up, lifting as you come over the arms and pushing back towards the heels. And then this time rotating in the opposite direction, lift up through the shoulders as you come forward, pushing it back more towards the heels as you come back. Good. And one more. Good, and tuck the toes under. And take the hands back towards the feet. Inhale here, and then exhale. Gently start to work up through the body. Just take a few little leg stretches here, working through the hamstrings a little bit. Inhale, lengthen up, bend the knees, and then lift up through the stomach. Exhale as you fold that forehead forward. Then inhale. Exhale as you slowly start to fold up. Head's the last to come up. Inhale, reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Good. Take a little move here. A little walk through the legs and through the arms. Really nice little upper body stretch. And then bring those hands together, tuck the tailbone under, lean over towards the right side. Into your Chandrasana, come back to the centre, over towards the left side. And then come all the way up. Really shake it all off, guys. We just finished with a few easy squats, so take the legs a little bit wider. Inhale, reach up, exhale. And again, inhale, lift. And one more, inhale, lift. In, toe everything back in. Reach the arms up. Namaste.